Welcome to That Just Doesn't Make Sense, the Nature of Things. I was 21 years old and out of the military now and living in Texas. Today was the first day of work for a construction project. And like most people back then, everyone started with a shovel in their hands, and I was no exception. The project was a public school being built from the ground up. It was the official start of my construction career. I was only on the shovel detail for one day, and the very next morning I was assigned to assist a carpenter setting bottom plates for the perimeter stem wall. This was an important job on this project because it set the level benchmark for the entire project. Of course, I was not aware of that at the time. The carpenter explained what he was doing and how to use a transit for determining the correct and equal elevations of the bottom plates. My primary job was to hold the measuring stick that the carpenter would look at through the transit. I worked with that carpenter for a few days. Then one morning he did not show up. I did not waste time. I grabbed one of the other laborers on a shovel and had him do what I was doing. Now I was using the transit and setting the benchmark. After about 2 hours in, the job site superintendent saw what I was doing and at first lost his freaking mind. He said, "Do you know what the hell you are doing?" I said, "Yes." "Do you even know how to read blueprints?" Again, I said, "Yes." And then I asked him, "Check my work." He did, and came back to me and said, "They are perfect. Just keep going and keep your mouth shut that I told you it was okay." At lunch, the super came up to me and started asking questions about my background and so forth. I told him about trying to be an architect and running out of money, then the military, and now here. There's not much to say. I'm just getting started, but I figure things out really fast and can make you think I have done it for a while. He said it worked because I did not notice it was you working the transit. At that moment, he put me in charge of the benchmark for the entire project. I did not know at the time, but that is a critical path for every construction project on the planet. And I was put in charge of it in just a few days. This is the timeline in my life when I noticed that I seem to have a knack for getting promoted in a short period of time everywhere since the Army. And of course, I have to analyze. So I started to write in journals of my days and what I did, what the date was, what the time was, who was there, and what they said too. After a few of those journals I had written, I would read them and notice the patterns. No matter where I worked, I would always ask questions and get into the thick of things all the time. I did not do it quietly either, which did get me in trouble many times. Never to the point of being fired, but caused waves that would not normally be there. The good news is that when I did butt my nose into where it was not supposed to belong, I ended up being right, which almost led to some kind of promotion. Once the stem wall bottom plates were all set, there was another carpenter on site that asked if I wanted to work for him. He said he had a deal to install windows and trim to the exterior of track homes. He needed someone he could teach to be the lead foreman for the project, and would I be interested? It meant a substantial raise, and I said yes. This was a great opportunity for me and my buddies who had moved to Texas with me, because I was able to hire them so we could work together. Big mistake, by the way. Friendship and work, they don't go together, but that is for another episode down the road. The carpenter's name was Bob, and for a short while he and I were side by side every day. Him directing and me learning. Then little by little, Bob would disappear every day, and half the time not come back till the next day. When I asked him about it, he said, "You got this," which is great. That gives me time to get us more business. So what he said made sense to me, and I did not push back. But then the money started becoming a problem for me and my men. We would not get paid on Friday. It would be over the weekend or Monday. So I took matters into my own hands, and I went to the developer of the project and shared my concerns regarding the money. He stared at me for a few seconds and said, "Me and my partner were just talking about you this morning." I said, "Okay. We're actually going to ask you if you wanted to take over the contract from Bob. They said they found out he leaves the job site at lunch and drinks the rest of the day. If you don't want to take the offer, we'll just give it to somebody else. Bob's done no matter what." I said, "I don't have any money. Bob has not paid us in 2 weeks. He said, "Don't worry about that. We have that figured out too." What do you mean?" "We owe Bob money as well, but we cannot give him money if he is not paying his people. We're going to give you the money, and you catch everybody up and then give Bob half the balance because it is his after expenses. Do you agree?" I said, I'm going to need to get our own tools. Bob owns all the tools. They said, we will help get an account open at the local hardware store. I said, talk about timing for me to walk up and talk to you about this. They said, we have been watching and see that if it were not for you, we would not be having this conversation. So take a deep breath. Let's get this done and agreed upon. Later that evening, Bob showed up at my apartment. Now, me and the guys all lived together. When they saw Bob, they took off running. I did not. I went outside to talk to him. He was not happy. How could you do this he said, how could you do this to me? Which, by the way, is a question that is very common from people that are trying to shift blame. But I did not let him move our conversation in that direction. I said, Bob, really? You have not paid us for 2 payrolls, yet we are still there every day. I told the guys we could trust you and that we will get paid. Then I found out you have been drinking the money away. No, your actions caused this. So I paid everybody. I paid what everybody is owed, including myself. There's $2,000 left, and we are going to split it down the middle. So I have operating capital, so $1,000 each. It is that or nothing. Or we can let the police sort this out. He agreed, and we never saw each other again. I told this story to continue the evolution from the 5-year-old to the 21 years old. And I understanding how I recognized what opportunities to go after and when. Once you understand who you are and how you think and reason, your decisions start making more sense as well. If this story was able to remind you of something similar that happened to you, then please share in the comment section, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode. And we'll catch you on the next one.